Christen Varley, we're standing, as far as anyone knows, right where the boxes of tea were thrown into the water during the famous Boston Tea Party. That was in 1773. What's relevant about those events to what's happening in 2010 as a member of the Tea Party movement?
I think the adoption of the acronym taxed enough already and referencing it back to the original Tea Party just kind of hints at kind of the end of tolerance of government subverting the will of the people. In Boston, it was very easy to adopt the Boston Tea Party as a theme. It just goes to, we're asking for one thing, we're being given something completely antithetical to that.
So are you going to try and start a revolution?
No. We're going to vote. We're going to go out and work for candidates as individuals, and we're going to go vote.
And what are you trying to get out of this? What's your goal?
We'd like to get back to the Constitution. We'd like to get back to those principles of limited government, free markets, free speech, individual responsibility, and personal liberty. That's what made our nation great. We've got 200 years of human progress, technological progress, social progress that indicate that that type of system works well. I think we've got a lot of evidence that a return to that will just equal more prosperity for people across the board in our country.
Isn't there one crucial difference with 1773, and that is that President Obama is your representative, so it's not taxation without representation. The American people voted him into the White House.
Well, certainly, but the Tea Party movement isn't only about President Obama and the administration's policies. The Tea Party movement kind of got its kickoff in 2008 when George Bush was still president and passed the TARP bill. It galvanized behind the passage of the stimulus bill in early 2009 and has again grown after the election of Senator Scott Brown here in Massachusetts, the passage of the health care legislation, and passage of financial regulatory legislation. So this is not all about President Obama. This is about a disagreement with the direction our Congress is taking us.
You mentioned it not being all about Obama. Quite often it's said that the Tea Party movement is essentially a racist movement. It's designed to attack the first black president of the United States. How do you respond to that allegation?
I'm pretty immune to that allegation after hearing it over and over again for a year and a half. I know what's inside my heart and mind, and I've had lots of conversations with thousands of people over the last year that we've been officially organized, and I don't see racism as any part of this. To me, this is people who want to preserve what has been good for them so that it's there for their children and grandchildren.
And what about the other allegation, which is that you're basically a bunch of nutcases, to put it bluntly, and people point to Christine O'Donnell, who, as we've heard, used to be sort of dabble with witchcraft.
Well, we all did a lot of stupid things in high school, and we all just hope some of us will never run for political office because of it, won't we? I think what's important to know here is that there's nothing nutty about limited government. There's nothing nutty about liberty, about taking responsibility for your life and your choices and going out and grabbing the bull by the horns, seizing opportunity and making something of yourself. That's the tradition of the United States. That's the tradition that we are trying to preserve. If we have a government that interferes with choice and freedom every step of the way, from your town hall to the halls of Congress in Washington, D.C., then we will never see that kind of prosperity again.
And how well, judging from what you're hearing on the streets and from other people in the Tea Party movement around here, do you think you might do on November the 2nd? How much energy is there around your movement?
There's a lot of energy. I hear from people every day about who they've been working for. Have you heard of this candidate? What can you do to get more people involved? I just sent a donation to this person, to that person. We're seeing national interest in candidates that we have here in Massachusetts. Again, after our Senate victory this past January here in Massachusetts.
Which is Scott Brown.
Senator Scott Brown. I think what we're seeing is that even in Massachusetts, all bets are off. Every seat is the people's seat. Every seat is open game.
Thank you.